Welcome back to CreelTalk, where bold conversations meet real life wisdom. If this is your first time tuning in, here's what we're about. CreelTalk has one mission: to connect with people like you. The ambitious one, the go-getters, the excuse removers, the ones who know there's more to life and aren't afraid to do the work to reach it. We've been through the trenches ourselves, building businesses, raising kids, homeschooling, leading, learning, growing, and through it all, we've made mistakes, learned lessons, and discovered a rhythm that actually worked. Today, we're sharing those lessons not because we've mastered it all, but because we want to help you win faster than we did. If this episode saves you time, energy, or even just one breakdown moment, then it's all worth it. Because you deserve tools that empower, not overwhelm. And today's topic, it hits close to home. We're talking about the balance that helps you move from chaos to clarity, the kind that blends ambition with presence, purpose with peace. I've been asked this question more times than I can count. Helene, how do you manage it all? Running businesses, homeschooling, being a present mom, showing up as a wife, and still finding time to breathe, grow yourself, and lead others. And that's what today's episode is about. Making intentional choices that help you thrive in both your work and your family life. If you've ever felt like you're spinning plates, trying to keep your career, family, and personal life from crashing down, you're not alone. Let me start by telling you a personal story. It was a Tuesday, not dramatic, just it started off deceptively normal. By 7 a.m. that morning, I was elbow deep in a homeschool math lesson on fractions with my son. He is so smart. If you've ever met my son before, he is literally a genius. I mean, it's funny. Chris and I make a joke. He is a combination of the both of us. So what were we expecting, right? So here I was trying to explain to him why stickers don't belong in the bar graph, while also mentally preparing myself for an 8 a.m. work meeting. My son then began to argue with me that math should be optional. It should be an optional subject for me to homeschool him on. While we were in the middle of this quite interesting argument, my daughter was crying at absolutely nothing. She had just woken up. And me, I was just trying to hold it all together in the middle of this chaos. Then, of course, my Wi-Fi just completely gave up. Cue to scramble. I unplugged the modem, whispered desperate prayers in panic because in 10 minutes, I had to be on a Zoom call. By some miracle, the connection came back just in time. I logged in, pulled up a chair in the office with a bright smile on my face. I was on camera. And while on camera, I whispered to myself, slowly under my breath, Helene, you got this. As I took another deep breath in. Still in my pajamas, by the way. My son then is behind me now, roaring like a lion while I'm on a Zoom call. You know what? I still crushed that Zoom call. We wrapped up the math lesson. I reheated my tea for the third time. I didn't conquer the world that day, but I balanced it. Not perfectly or without effort, but with intentionality. If you're listening in and you've ever felt stretched so thin, overwhelmed, or unsure how to balance your ambition with your home life, this episode is for you. I want to share 6 practical tips that have helped me hold it all together with grace, grit, and a whole lot of faith. Because balance isn't about doing everything, it's about doing what matters with purpose. So here we go. Tip number 1, set clear priorities. Learn to set clear priorities. Balance begins with clarity, and clarity begins with courage. Before you can create harmony between your personal and professional life, you need to know what truly matters. This is important, not just in theory, but in practice. Ask yourself, what do I want to protect this week? What do I want to build this month? What legacy am I shaping this year? Define your top priorities across both domain, work and life. Speak them out loud. Let them become your compass. If family dinners are sacred to you, treat them like non-negotiable meetings. Block the time. Silence the cell phone. It's okay. The updates can wait. Step away from the inbox. That was a huge one for me. Step away. When your workday is over, it's okay to close the laptop. Because boundaries aren't just about discipline, they're declarations of value. When you honor your priorities, you teach others how to honor them too. And that's how balance becomes not just a goal, but a lifestyle. Tip number 2, create flexible routine. Forget the perfect schedules. Build a rhythm that breathes. Rigid calendars crack under real life. Kids get sick. Clients reschedule. Energy shifts. That's why routines aren't about control. They're about the flow. Start by identifying your natural anchor. You will have to identify this for you. My husband knows this about me. When I need to think creatively, I have to go for a walk. And those early morning walks do a miracle for my brain. So maybe your mornings are for deep work or creative spins. Afternoons for connections, family, mentorship, a movement. Evenings for restoration. Maybe this is your time for reading. Maybe this is also your time for reflection or rest. These aren't rules, they're rhythms, and you have to learn to create these anchor moments. Learn to create these rhythms. They give your day structure without suffocation. Because let's be honest, life actually laughs at the color coded spreadsheet. So instead of chasing perfection, build in grace. Anchor moment like breakfast together, homeschool blocks, or focus work sprint become your touchstone. And when things shift, adapt without guilt. Flexibility isn't failure, it's wisdom. I heard this a long time ago. Anytime I have to start over, I don't start from nothing. I start from experience. So flexibility isn't failure, it's wisdom. Anytime you adapt, you start from experience. When your routine honor your reality, they become tools of freedom, not chains of obligation. In the story I told you earlier, remember my routine isn't rigid, it's responsive. Some days the rhythm shifts. A sick child, a last minute meeting, but I don't spiral. I adapt because my anchors are clear, my values are protected, and my flexibility is intentional. That's the power of a flexible routine. It bends, but it doesn't break. Tip number 3, embrace the micro wins. Forget the highlight reels. We often chase the big wins, the promotion, the perfect lunch, the flawless parenting days. Man, as parents on here, can we be honest? How many of those actually exist? Real balance, it's built in the micro wins. That quick client follow up you squeeze in between homeschool blocks, the giggle over lunch that reminded you why presents matter, getting through math without tears. Ugh, that's a win for me with my kids. When we can get through a homeschool lesson without tears. Sending that podcast teaser even though you were exhausted. Now, this is for me. The days I accomplished that, man, it's a huge win. Choosing rest over guilt when the to do list was still full. It's okay to step away and take a moment and rest. This was not an easy one for me because I'm such a go getter. Every minute I have to do something, I have to fill it with something, and my husband will never fail to let me know it's okay to shut the brain down for a quick minute and rest so that you can refresh and then come back with a fresh new attitude and just a fresh new mood too. It's important. So remember that these aren't small, they are sacred. The proof that you're showing up in business, in family, in life. Celebrate them. Write them down. Share them with your support system because momentum isn't built on perfection, it's built on progression. We'll talk a lot about this. This is a topic that I believe a lot of people need to hear, especially being strong entrepreneurs, chasing after dreams and goals. We tend to forget about these things, and these moments are important. And every micro win is a whisper that says, you're doing better than you think. Tip number 4, set boundaries that serve you. They're bridges to clarity, peace, and purpose. In a world that glorifies hustle and constant availability, setting boundaries can sometimes feel like you're being rebellious. But here's the truth, boundaries aren't about shutting people out, they're about showing up fully for the things that matter most. If you're working from home while homeschooling, boundaries become essential tools. Visual cues like headphone signals, they help me get in focus mode. Sometimes I even do sticky notes on my laptop or on the door. These are just gentle reminders sometimes to my kids that mom is in a meeting. And sometimes I'll even write a note, or sometimes I will have a conversation with them. It's all about that communication, letting them know what mommy's up to. Another thing I do, timers, they help create shared expectation. When this goes off, I'm all yours. Sometimes we do that with the kids. I'll set a timer and let them know when this rings, you can come get mommy. It's time for mommy to move on to the next thing. These aren't rigid rules, they're respectful rhythm. They teach your family how to honor your work, and they teach you how to honor your energy. You're not being selfish. You're not being strategic. You're modeling self respect, intentionality, and leadership. And that's not just okay, it's powerful. Because when your boundaries serve your values, they serve everyone around you too. Tip number 5, involve your family in the mission. Your purpose isn't just yours, it's part of your family's story. Too often we separate our work from our home life, thinking we're protecting our kids from stress or complexity. But can we just be honest? Your family and your mission can coexist. But what if we invite them in? Not to carry the weight, but maybe to just witness the why. Let them see your passion. Let them hear your vision. Let them feel your purpose. When your children understand that mommy's work empowers others, they don't just tolerate your focus, they honor it. They become part of the mission. One day, this was huge for me. One day, my son looked up from his Legos and asked me, Mommy, are you helping ladies be brave today? And in that moment, I realized he wasn't just watching me work, he was watching me lead. He was learning what courage looked like. Guys, that's legacy, that's impact. That's the kind of balance that transcends schedules and systems. So share the journey. Let your family see the heart behind the hustle. Because when they feel included, they don't just support your mission, they become part of it. And for us, that's huge. If you ask us what fuels us, that's the gasoline that fuels my hustle. Tip number 6, give yourself grace every single day without exception. You miss meeting, you burn dinners, you reheat the same cup of coffee 3 times and still forget to drink it. But pause. Are you showing up? Are you trying again? Are you loving fiercely, leading boldly, and learning as you go? Then you're doing more than enough. Grace isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's the quiet strength that whispers, you're allowed to be human here. It's what lets us reset without shame, reflect without judgment, and rise without apology. One affirmation I return to often is, I'm not defined by the mess, I'm empowered by how I move through it. And so are you. If today felt heavy, if you've been juggling too much, doubting your pace, or questioning your impact, let me remind you this. You're not alone, you're not behind, you're more capable than you think. These 6 tips aren't just strategies, they're reminders that you can lead with intention, that your family and your mission can coexist, that grace and grit can carry you through the chaos. I thank you for tuning into CreelTalk today. Thanks again for choosing to refuel, reflect, and rise. You're building something beautiful, and I'm cheering you on every single step along the way. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs that reminder today. Like it, save it, and come back next for more bold conversation that fill your purpose and your peace. And hey, if you're vibing with this energy, check out our Lead with Intention collection at www.visioninspired.net. It's more than a merch. It's a movement. Every single piece is designed to remind you and everyone who sees you, you're not just showing up, you're leading with purpose. Your support means the world to Chris and I, and it helps us keep building the space to have the bold conversation so that you can unapologetically continue to chase after your dreams and goals. So until next time, keep balancing with intention, keep leading with heart, and remember, you got this.